Hey guys, so this is another first impressions video. This time it's for Freya, and I'm finally back from my vacation, so I'm back to making videos. I'm finally free from that terrible ship internet, so hopefully I can play as I usually do now. So anyhow, Freya, look at this hero. She is so beautiful. They did a really good job of her design here. Very, very beautiful hero. So anyhow, her ability is very interesting. Check this out. Average deals 512 damage to the target for 5 hits and inflicts parasite rose on it for 4 turns and cleanses all debuffs from allies. This is super important, guys, because cleansing debuffs in red did not exist before this hero. So this is the only hero in the entire game that cleanses debuffs. So very important to note, guys. So, but the debuff that she has here, Parasitic Rose, when using skills, gains 110% overload and restores Freya's mana by 100%. This effect can only be used one time. Overload increases mana required to cast the next skill. So this is interesting. The way that this actually works is you put the debuff on the enemy goes off, and that enemy is going to get the 110% overload, and Freya is going to get 100% mana. So that is super interesting on the attack. Very interesting. And on at +5 on defense, yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I'm going to show you that in a second. However, let's talk about her awakenings here. So the first one is Awaken +1. When clearing red Naya stones, purple heroes restore additional 10 mana. When clearing purple Naya stones, red heroes restore additional 10 mana. So this awakening, at first glance I underestimated it, and this awakening here opens up to so many combinations on the attack specifically. So you may think 10 mana, it's not a lot of mana, but if you take into account that a very fast hero needs 30 mana to fill up, that will give you a good idea. It really depends how fast the hero is. If it's a slow hero, very slow hero, and so forth, this is going to be less relevant. But this actually stacks up with when you connect stones in the board. This adds up over and over. So this is actually a lot more important, a lot more relevant than many people may think. So this +1, I think, is super powerful. It will enable you to do so many things. And some things that I did wonder, and maybe some of you guys do, is that if you're playing Freya on the mono red team and you can add purple stones, you still get this mana, extra mana. So if you're playing red, you're gonna get extra mana from purple. So that's pretty crazy, pretty darn crazy. I'm gonna talk about the combinations in a second that I may think that some people may be using there. So the +2 is the usual 10%. The +3 is after using skills, increases attack and defense of Asgard allies by 25% and boosts their net skill damage by 25% for 5 turns. So this is very important if you already have pretty much the Asgard heroes in this situation. So if you have Surtur, if you already have Thor and things like that, this is going to be very powerful. And you're going to notice that when you activate Freya, each of your Asgard heroes are going to have that little rose on top of them. That means that if you go off with them, you're going to get that 25% skill damage. So that's really nice. As if Asgard needed more damage. Yeah, because this is pretty crazy. Because they already get a +3 already gives the 50% attack and defense, and this is the 25. Oh, this is yeah, this is a pretty powerful +3 if you have the Asgard heroes. And usual 10% for the Awaken +4. And the +5. Jesus. I don't know why they actually did this, because, yeah. Anyhow, Awaken +5. When each wave begins, inflict 50 overload on all enemies. This is insane. That's pretty much making every single enemy hero grab an energy weapon. Pretty much. It's really similar to this. It's not 50%, but 50 overload, it's a lot. So, yeah. And it doesn't stop there. Parasitic Rose is no longer a debuff. No longer a debuff. And has no duration, while the number of uses increases by 2. So this is pretty insane. Absolutely bonkers, guys. Because now, since this is no longer a debuff, it can affect Percival, it can affect Alia, which are usually immune to debuffs. So yeah, this is pretty insane. I'm going to show you in a second. Luckily, over here, we can actually see it with the testing here with the hero trial. Actually, test her out at +5. +1 as well. So let's see. We do have a little bit of purple. Let's see how much mana we can actually get here. See, this amount of mana is relevant. And Searcher here is a slow hero. So you see this amount of mana is for slow. And the same... looks pretty similar. 10 and for 3 stones. So that's important to know. So you see that Freya here actually gets a little bit more mana than Searcher and Thor. And that's because she's an average hero. So the faster the hero is, the faster they're gonna be filled up with the actual mana that they're receiving by number, which is 10 mana here. So this is 10 mana for slow. So here, if you want to actually use her ability, you're gonna want to target problem heroes. So definitely here, this girl over here definitely is gonna give you problems. So you want to target her as soon as possible. Percival, you want to target him as soon as possible. This is going to give you a lot of problems. Let me give some just in case here. Okay. We're just trying to show off Freya here a little bit. Alright. Let's see. So, the +5 said that it was 2 at a time, but I'm able to actually do 3. That's interesting. They may fix that in the future, but in the meantime, you're able to do more. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. So, anyhow. So, problem heroes. Definitely Mildred here is going to be a problem, and Percy for sure. So, having this ability out for them, that is incredibly powerful. So... let's see if we can make Mildred go off here. Two at a time, 2 at a time. See, she went off and gained 100% overload, which is insane. Absolutely insane. And this, that is no longer a debuff, it's undispellable. And yeah, it stays for the rest of the fight until, yeah, that is pretty disgusting, guys. Pretty disgusting. Even though you're not able to target, you know, Percy already has the debuff, so that's going to be a problem there. Oh, I forgot about that, but that's fine. That's the main thing here. So yeah, Freya is definitely going to be useful when you want to take out problem heroes. That's the main thing. And here, that's going to be really relevant for sure. Let's see. We're almost finished here anyway. So, last testing here. So when Freya dies... that's interesting. When Freya dies, reds and purples don't get the mana from her +1. So that's important to know. Very important, actually. So that is a very good reason to actually make sure that... that is so weird. For a second, that is so weird. That is a weird glitch. So anyway, Freya, make sure to bring her with a shield weapon to make sure that she doesn't die, like you saw there. If she dies, you're not going to get mana from purples. Purples are not going to get mana from reds and so forth. So make sure she has protection when you bring her out. Especially if she's not +5, of course.
I'm as good as any of you.
So, yeah, perfect. So anyhow, I'm going to show you now a fight of her on defense at +5. And it is pretty disgusting. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. She goes off, she makes everybody, you know, yeah, useless. So, very, very crazy, guys. So, check it out. So that is amazing, guys. Remember that when you play this game, there's a thing called the mana tempo, that you start off, you get the mana from your stones, your mana weapons and things like that, to fill up and actually do what you want to do or need to do to eliminate the enemy. But Freya +5 messes that up. You have to pretty much, in a way, start over again. And when she goes off, yeah, you saw how even Alia, my Alia, actually had a bunch of problems to bring in the tempo for the mana, bring in and everything. It's completely messes up the team there. It made some heroes even useless in some situations. So yeah, very powerful +5. Yeah. So anyhow, do I think you should skip or not skip this hero? You could skip her, but the problem is that even at +0, you're gonna miss out on the only red hero in the game that cleanses debuffs. So having her at +0 or +1 in your Alden team could be very relevant in this situation, because there's gonna be situations in which you need that cleansing for sure, versus a few enemies there. So that's gonna be really relevant for sure. So anyhow, for awakenings, you could use her at +0 technically. If you want to actually make sure that some problem heroes don't give you problems, like as I said in the other team, you do want to take care of Isadora. So Isadora in the Olive team, you actually target, she goes off, overload, and you wait. And if you survive, it's gonna be very powerful to take her out. And the +1, the +1, you can actually, this enables you to use so many teams. That's the interesting thing about this, and I'm gonna cover that in the update video. Yeah, the +1 is pretty powerful. If you're able to get her to +1, I highly recommend it for sure. The +3 is, it's not bad. It is pretty powerful, but it's not exactly the sweet spot. The +1 is definitely the sweet spot for her. And if you're able to, the +5, it's already showed, it is pretty broken, guys. This is, yeah, no. I can't believe they actually did this. This is devastating, guys. Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, skip or not skip, I would say try to not skip her, at least get her to +0, because you never know when you're going to actually need cleansing, when specifically you're going to actually need a hero in your red team to counter some problem heroes. But since it's going to be +0, make sure to use her ability right before the enemy is going to go off to actually activate that. But if you really need to skip a hero, you can skip her in this time around. Alright, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.